in this way, wherever there's the opportunity, wherever the mercy is available, our answer is always yes. It's very simple. One can never say no to mercy in any form. In this way, even after a full meal, there still is prasad. That is also the nature of surprises. I was in Estonia, and we were driving into the snow. And at the side of the road there were huge piles of snow, and it was just snowing and snowing and snowing, and I knew if we drive a little further, it will be only polar bears. And then we came to, there were 2 houses in the middle of a white landscape, nothing else. So we stopped at one of the houses, and when I came to the door, there was a devotee who started chanting a Sanskrit stotram, and one Sanskrit word after another. I was wondering, how long is this Sanskrit stotram? 15 minutes. He stood there 15 minutes reciting it. It was impressive. I didn't expect that in the middle of the snow. And then we came in the house, and there were life-size deities of Tota Gopinath. Wow. So in Puri, a full copy of Tota Gopinath in Puri, exactly replica, same size, you know, huge. Right? That's shocked, you know. I mean, Tota Gopinath here, you know, and there he was, right? It was amazing. It was really amazing. So to see all that bhakti there, you know, such a Sanskrit stotram, such a deity in such a place, right? And then there was a huge feast, so I reciprocated and ate it. No, really because of the bhakti, yeah? I ate it. And then some of the devotees there said, now you must come to our house as well. And that was the house next door. And the extraordinary thing they had was tulsi, and they had tulsi like you see it in India, you know, like thick wood, you know, serious wooden stems. In Russia, in the middle of the snow, in Estonia, in the snow, it's not so easy to get such thick wooden stem on your tulsis. So I could see the bhakti again, and of course there was a second feast, which I ate as well. But one thing I realized that day, I realized if here, on the edge of Antarctica, if here also Krishna consciousness is available, then it can spread anywhere, anywhere on this planet, right? And being here today, also in the middle of this, of New Badrinath, Krishna Kshetra Swami sometimes refers to this place as New Badrinath. I wonder why. Snow in April, twice. Ha ha ha. I wonder what May will bring. Just a little more snow. Then you get the June snow. And in August you get the cherry on the cake. Snow. New Badrinath Maharaj calls this place. So even in the middle of New Badrinath, suddenly there's Vrindavan. Who would expect? Who could imagine just some apparently ordinary Bavarian house, you know, in the Bavarian fields, and you come upstairs and there's this whole temple, Krishna Balaram, and I mean, and look at it. Wherever you look, there is some bhakti there, bhakti on the light, you know, with a whole yantra and a mantra, which I cannot see because of the dazzling effulgence. Then we have cows here, and you know, every deity in the book. And even the ones that are not in the book, maybe they are present here, everywhere. I mean, you look, and there's deities all over the place. You know. is just quite something. I mean, really, if you count how many deities there are in this room, probably more than people. Yeah, really. So, and all look really well cared for. All look like, yeah, they're not just there. All look like they're cared for. And so they manifest. One time, they told me, you must go see I was in Jaipur, they said, you should go see the Birla temple because they have very nice marble carving, and maybe, we can get some ideas from it. So I went to see. Okay, marble carving was okay, wasn't that impressed. And then there were the deities, and then the pujari, he just gave out these little sugar balls, like in India, these little, and you get some little sugar ball, and then you take some. And that's it, And it was just, if you compare that, right, to the temples where the deities are worshipped with sabji puri and with kachori and with all kinds of opulent preparations and cream and I don't know what they all get. But when we see that, right, then we know, that Krishna and Balaram become very satisfied. And they become round and chubby. And especially Balaram looks quite chubby. He looks satisfied and chubby. He looks like he is well fed, right? And to his full satisfaction. Yes. So in this way, we're very happy to see the transcendental cowherd boys enjoying the transcendental nectar on the banks of the Yamuna. Krishna is looking at the white sand and he sees there are no footsteps. So this is a good place for a picnic. And then they sit down. And that is so natural in a place like this. So, ye dine griyete bhajana teki griyete goloka bhayana. That day, that in the house or in the home, there was the chanting of the holy name. That day, Golok Vrindavan manifests. So, how nice is Krishna consciousness? Imagine that every house would be a temple. I've often suggested that when we are in a community of devotees, that we could do a program which takes only 30 families, and each family has to invite all the others once a month, and cook a huge feast. And if 30 families, then the whole month is covered. And then you cook only once a month, and you get a feast every day.
Good idea.
Yes, I also think so. No, I think it's really a good idea. Very practical. It takes only 30 families.
Future project.
Yeah, 30 families. So I've suggested it many times. It's not many. And 30 families, you cook only once a month, and you get a feast every day. And devotee association. It's a good program. And then, imagine that if every house on the hill would become a temple. That is Krishna consciousness. We don't need to build temples and temples and temples and temples everywhere. Yes, a few temples we will build, but otherwise we just put temples in the homes, in all the houses. It is there where Krishna consciousness will spread. Every house a temple. And then every house dedicated to Krishna. Then all the cows in Bayern will be protected. And then it will become most blissful. So a little more work to do. So just a few more books, just a little more prasadam distribution, and then we hope Krishna will do a miracle. But Krishna does miracles, many miracles. Yeah, we always appreciate the miracle of Russia. You know, in 1987 we were in Mayapur and Calcutta, and there were big press conferences, Amnesty International style, about all the Russian devotees who were in jail. There were like big boards, you know, with photos, and this one was in a labor camp, and that one was in a mental hospital, and everybody was locked up, and that was Krishna consciousness in Russia, totally oppressed. We never imagined that it would explode, that it could explode. Little Prahlad, you know, Sri Prahlad saying, Mr. Gorbachev, you may say, Mr. Gorbachev, please release them, set them free. And a little Gurukul boy singing a song about setting the Hare Krishnas free. The campaign was gaining momentum. And Gorbachev let them out. And they came to Mayapur. And there was one who had been in a mental hospital, and they had been giving him drugs, and he said, when you sat down, you felt, I have to stand up. When you stood up, you felt, I have to sit down. So the whole time, you would sit up, stand, sit. And he said, but there was one thing, and he told this story to all of us. He said, but there was one thing that pulled me through. And he said, I don't know, but somewhere from within my mind, I heard Keshava, Keshava. And then I was chanting Keshava. And what does it mean? Keshava. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj was giving the class, and he has asked Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So Bhakti Charu Maharaj says it means Krishna with the beautiful hair. So then he looked like Krishna with the beautiful hair. Then Maharaj said, and it also means Krishna, the killer of the Kasi demon. And then it made sense, you know, that all overpowering demoniac force that represented by the Kasi demon, that can be overcome simply by taking shelter of Kesha, of Krishna. So we sometimes look at this world, you know, if only every house was a temple, but how will it ever happen? How will that ever be possible? Will that be possible? Keshava, Keshava, Achyuta Keshava, by the mercy of Krishna and Balaram, that is possible. That can happen. They can make it happen. And so now we see so many Russian devotees, and that happened. And one day, we'll see more and more temples in more and more houses. And Prabhupada was liberal. Prabhupada told Dhananjaya, just make Gaura-Nitai deities, and the Sankirtan devotees can give the deities to the people as souvenirs. Like just to have a doll from Spain, or a doll from, you know, from Japan, where they have been. All right. Say these people, give them to the people, and tell them that if they every day put a fresh glass of water, that it will bring luck. So Prabhupada was so broad-minded, and somehow or other get Gaura-Nitai into the houses of the people, and somehow or other Gaura-Nitai will take over. Prabhupada's vision. Yeah. So what an amazing vision. And thinking about that, how amazing it would be. How amazing will be the day that there will be temples everywhere. Then we'll have a feast every day. Okay.
Du hast einmal, once you said that Krishna Balaram, they are very happy. The more visitors come here, the more happy they are.
Yeah.
And the temple room is full again. It's wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
hosting us.
Thank you for coming and everybody. And now, Gauda Arti?
I haven't even done my own duty worship yet. I was planning to do that actually.
Around 5 o'clock, I said, okay, then we'll do the puja.
Oh yeah.
And then
Hurry up.
I got
I
kidnapped.
can also do Gorarti afterwards.
You can do. I can also. I've got a car and I've got the keys in my pocket. I know where the temple is.
Oh yeah.